Okay, so today I'm going to be making another river table, and this is from an old table that I made about 4 years ago. It's a maple slab. I originally kept it in one piece because it's got some lovely grain and figure in it. I made it for my mum. She no longer needs this because she's got an upgrade of yours truly. So yeah, I'm going to make the form up with this bit of OSB. Get it in there, get the sides taped up with the bits of wood to make the form. Put the slab in, put some lubricant in so it peels off nice and easy. And I'm going to do a river on either side of this slab. So one on the left and one on the right. And I'm going to pack it with wood in the middle to save on the epoxy. So that's another little trick that you're going to learn today, because you don't have to pour just all resin, so you can save a bit of money. So welcome along. My name's Rox Original, and I'll be your host for the next 45 minutes or so. Okay, so I've got it clamped up now. It's all been oiled, the base, the sides. I've got it nice and level. And yeah, I just clamped that slab down because it was a little bit wonky. Not that the slab's wonky, but the OSB was a bit bowed. so cold. See how thick it's coming out. So I'll just write that down. 150. So I'm going to pour some hot water in here. It is boiling. It's a dirty kettle and all. What I'm going to do, just for a minute, just going to leave it in there, just to warm it up a little bit. Now you can't do no harm when it's just by itself. Obviously if they mix together, you'd already mix them up, it will force cure it and it will cure like quick. I've done that before and I've needed to, don't worry about that. Right, new plan of action. I've changed my mind and I'm now going to do clear epoxy all over the top and on both of the sides, and then I'm going to demold it. But first off, I'm going to have to sand all or finish off what was originally on top of the table. Right, so the epoxy is nice and warmed up now. Got to warm it up when it's in this cold weather. So I'm just going to stir this for 5 minutes and then we can start pouring. So now I'm just filling up these sides, getting it as much as I can level. Well, I'm getting it, it's going to go over the level because it's still a tiny little lip. So I'll just fill that up first, and then when it starts overflowing, like you see there, I'll use that part just to saturate the wood. You don't want to saturate, put too much resin on the slab when you're doing the first coat. You just want enough just to get it soaked in. So it's almost like incised timber. Is it called incised? Anyway, you just need it like, as you see there, I ain't putting too much on. Just get it in them little nooks and crannies. Just want it to accept the epoxy, so you can just give it a little sand after, and then it'll be ready to accept the next coat. Just getting it level, it's making sure. I think the best way is with your hand, because you can feel what you're doing. Don't get me wrong, a little trail's okay as well. That does get it smooth, that gets it nice and even. And just level it out with a blowtorch. Just keep going over it. Obviously I'm going to cut most of this out, but you go over it for a little while, especially when it's cold. And just get it nice and warmed up and make it nice and loose so it gets a nice even coverage. And there you go. See how that's come back to life? It's got that luster back now. Before it was just dull. Doesn't look exactly the same as the other side, but that's okay. I'm not fussed about that. It's not meant to be the same. It's similar, some parts, and some parts are a bit different. I went for the cosmic galaxy effect, like a space look, and I think I've got that. Tell you what, it's looking all right, mate. It's not even sucked up as much as I thought it was. It's took most of the epoxy, little couple of dry spots, but mainly that's a good first coat. I'm happy with that. Two ways you can do these. You just come down like that on it, and it will come away, and just bring it out forward, and then just keep working it. That's it, that's what you want to hear. That's it. Right, let me get all this off. I'll see you in a sec. Before I start, a little trick if you get caught out like this, blow gun, heat gun. Just go over it lightly, that loosens it all up. Should start puffing out a bit. See it slowly releasing. So I've just got to go around these edges because they're sharp. I might as well just deal with them with the grinder. So these little bits that's raised up here because of the foam, I'll just do that with a little planer. Just go around. Just take it off. Get it down to where it's supposed to be. That's it, nice and smooth. That's it. Well, that looks a lot better. You can see it taking shape now, even with just them little bits that I've done. It's looking more like a table now. Just a couple of little things here. There's a line here. I don't know what that is. It ain't a scratch mark. And I've got these little bits here. So I dig them out. And then go around it. So I'll go around. What I've just done here, I've got to go around the whole table now and do that. I'm not going to film all that, as that's this long. And then I'll get cracking on the roundovers. Absolutely perfect. As you can see, it's a lot easier to go over this part first with the grinder, getting all these like little imperfections off, getting it nice and flat, and then go over it with the orbital sander afterwards to get it smoother. even though I'm doing a round over on it, it's better to still have a nice edge to go on. That lip is where the epoxy rests up beside the form. It creates like a little, yeah, like a little lip. So I'm going to go in with a tiny round over, like a 1/8 of an inch. I think it's a 1/8 of an inch. I'm not sure. A small round over anyway. So I always do a little tester before you actually go on your table. So I'm just going to do a little tester on this. That's exactly what I need. That's perfect. Do you know what I can't believe I've done? What I've done. When I first made this, as you saw at the beginning of the video, it was just like one slab. This little bit here, it just dips down at the end. And when I made it, I just left it because it was just like a rough cut. I just put some finish on it and put some legs on it. And it was like a nice rustic one. When I've done this, I reminded myself to take 2 inches off it, cut it, and I forgot. And as a result, you can see now, you can see like the little bit, it's like it's dipped down. You notice it to the left. So, because of that now, it's going to mess with my round over. And also I can't even cut it because I've put the wood up an inch away from the end. Now when I put the wood in the middle. So, yeah. Lucky that it's for me and not for someone else, as I'd be very annoyed now. I would have worked out how to get round it, don't get me wrong. I would have just had to router the whole top until it got to the same thickness. But as a last thing I want to do, and that's the last thing I'm going to do, there's no way I'm doing that. Not when it's just for me to go in my living room. But yeah, it's lesson learned. See what I mean? People will still make mistakes, will you? As you can see, it's done exactly what I thought it was going to do. So I'll have to just style that. Just have to give that a little hand sand and just sort of blend that back in. I'll get away with that. It's not even cut the wood there because of the epoxy. There's too much epoxy, so just thinking might have to come down a little bit. That's all I could do. It's about the best I could do because it too much epoxy at that end. It didn't catch it there either. And what I'll do now, just epoxy this slightly because there'll be a colour change. I'll get a 240 grit on that just to smooth it, and then I'll put some clear epoxy on it just to give it a first coat again rather than pour all over it on it, because there will be a colour change. There will be, it will just look different. Oh, what a nightmare. See what I'm saying? One little thing. I should have put the roundovers on it first and cut it all, that's the problem. Right, let's get cracking. That's the last side done now. So this goes so I can just sand the edges now. Just went and done the other end of the other side and made the round over the same thickness. So them two sides are the same and these two are the same, but they're both different in thickness. Let's get in there, let's give it a quick sand up now on them sides and on the top, and then I'll give it a little coat. Now I can relax. That's the one part I hate doing, sanding the first part of the epoxy as well. Bloody nightmare, trimming it all up. I still ain't done the underneath, but I'll do that till I'll leave that last. So even though I'm not gonna do the whole coat over the top now, I will still wipe it down with isopropyl and just get it ready for tomorrow. I am going to do a little bit of epoxy just on the ends, just to get that evened up for ready for tomorrow. So a little trick you can do here, where you get like little bits of tear out from sanding the epoxy. If it's on the side, what you can do before you do your main pours of resin is get a bit of sellotape, put a little crease in it, just keep it there like that. Get your resin. And just push it in. If you don't catch it the first time, doesn't matter, but it will help you in the long run. Some will go in there, if not all of it. What I will do, just to save myself less hassle tomorrow, just wipe that little bit of excess at the top. That'll save it messing with the round over. And tomorrow that will just peel off. So I've got one more of them to do, and I'm going to paste up the sides. The reason I do this is because once you do like a round over, for example, and you've taken the epoxy back off the slab, there is like a colour change. So if I just pour the epoxy over it, sometimes you do see the line where the round over has been cut or epoxy has been removed. So this is why I'm just replacing that epoxy that I took off, just to even it back up, ready for tomorrow when I pour the rest of the epoxy back over it. So yeah, you don't have to do it. I suppose you could have just go back over it with the whole slab, but then you're going to have little air bubbles, maybe, and then that will just put you back again. So at least this way, once this is primed up, I know tomorrow I ain't going to have that problem. I could just give it a little scuff and then go over the whole top, and get a nice coverage. Right, so there's not much more I can do now, so I'll just let this cure up overnight. I'll come back tomorrow and then go over the whole top with the second coat, and then so on and so forth. And yeah, so back again tomorrow. Remember when I've done this? So let's have a look and see if it paid dividends, is it? Let's just say, did it pay off? Let's see if it paid off. Shouldn't be coming away like that. Should just be coming away in one hit. There you go. Where's the alcohol spray? Get rid of that stickiness, the sticky residue. One bit left there. Right. Now you see what that's done. Where that was. What's this here? That. Hold on, I need two hands. 1 minute. That's sellotape there. The resin looked proper the same as that. So as you can see, them holes are gone. So now when I do the pour, it ain't going to interfere with me getting little, because sometimes it will just drip over. It won't go in the hole, and it will just still be a hole, and it will just be like a little lump, like another dripping out of the hole. So that's why it's good to do that. What's going on here? Oh, he's at the resin. Don't even think they're sellotape. Yeah, so these ones were just tiny little ones. And I just went over it with resin. But they're all gone. There is another one I've done with tape. That's on the other side, isn't it? And there's that one. It's just one little bubble there. I mean, one little hole still. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it does squeeze back out. You don't necessarily always get them. But at least now it's this one. I might just use the UV on that. I won't even notice it. Alright. So that's the coat when I put the resin on. Not too bad. I'm gonna have to deal with this. See that line? So what I'll do, I'll just hit it with some black spray, let it dry, and then go over it with the resin. It's got a good few coats to go anyway, so you know, notice that. Sucked it up over there and there. This is why I had to do that. Alright, I think we're all done there. I want to do this pour. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having it in here. It's been here too long. It needs to be in the front room. Right, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave the video here, but as you know, with most of my videos, when I end up completing them and sanding them and polishing them, they do end up like this. So this is what it's gonna look like basically, but without these little dips. It's gonna take a couple more coats and get it sanded and polished. But the reason is, I wanted to get this video out at Christmas, and unfortunately I went into hospital. So I've been in hospital all over Christmas and over New Year's, and I'm still in hospital. So because this was going on for so long, I just wanted to get the video uploaded, and seeing that I'd already done the second coat before I went into hospital, and thought I'll still upload it, as you can still see how the table is going to look. I will do a part 2 of the couple of more coats and the sanding and the polishing and the install of the legs and the final product when it's in my front room, if I ever make it back to my front room. But yeah, at the minute I'm eating hospital food and getting waited on by loads of female nurses. So yeah, it's not all bad. But I am getting shed fever. I'm really starting to miss the old woodwork and the tables. This is one of the next projects I've got lined up, is these 2 shelves. And well, one's a shelf and one is a divider for the middle of the bedroom, what leads on to a wardrobe. So that will be the next up and coming thing. This has already been started on, and this is just a few little clips here. So yeah, I really wanted to send this video out completed and from start to finish how it ended up in my front room, but it just had to be put on hold. But you can still see how the table's going to look. It is going to look like that now with that finish. So all being good, and I'm not in here any longer than I have to be. Hopefully part 2 shouldn't be too long. So thanks for your understanding, and I hope you still enjoyed the video. I kept you here long enough, so if you stayed this long, congratulations. Yeah, and if you want to hit that like and subscribe button for me, it would really help me out. So until then, take care and enjoy the last little clip of this video.